Real Madrid is once again at the center of attention, and for several reasons at once. Kylian Mbappé is tearing up the Champions League and has been named the Player of the Week. Álvaro Carreras is rapidly turning skepticism into confidence and securing his place in the starting lineup, while Dani Carvajal is back in the injury list, adding new challenges for Xabi Alonso ahead of a key run of matches. And on top of that, hot discussions about the roles of Valverde and Vinícius. All this within just 1 week, where Madrid balances between brilliance and anxiety. This week, there are 3 major topics around Real Madrid: an individual award, a strengthening presence on the defensive flank, and a fresh blow to the team's fitness. Let's start with the main hero of the week in Europe. Kylian Mbappé has officially been named the Champions League Player of the Week, and it's completely deserved. A hat-trick against Kairat, a 5-0 win, and Madrid getting back on track after a painful 2-5 loss to Atletico. Mbappé opened the scoring and then finished the job. Nights like these are what build a leader's status. There were many strong candidates for the award, but his contribution was decisive. With this momentum, the upcoming clash with Juventus is already looming. And inside the club, everyone expects Kylian to maintain this form. At the same time, a quieter but equally important long-term victory is taking shape. Álvaro Carreras already looks like a signing that made perfect sense. His return for $50 million caused heated debates. His age, the price. Why pay so much for your own academy player? But just a few months later, the noise has been replaced by numbers. After the Mallorca game, Xabi Alonso summed it up simply. Álvaro has adapted incredibly well. He does almost everything right. That's not just a compliment. It's a statement of fact. The market agrees. According to Transfermarkt, Carreras' current value is still $50 million, matching his buyback fee. For context, 125 days ago, while still at Benfica, his value was $15 million lower. But the sporting impact matters more. The Spaniard has made 8 appearances in 9 official matches this season, resting only during the last European week against Kairat, when Fran Garcia started. In 7 of those games, he played the full 90 minutes. Only once, against Levante, was he substituted in the 82nd minute for David Alaba. The coach's trust is evident on the scoreboard. Carreras now ranks 4th in the squad for appearances, behind only Courtois, Mbappé, and Tchouaméni. In terms of profile, he's far more than just a runner down the flank. Carreras provides width and a clean entry point into the final third. In crosses into the box, he already leads the team, 5 total, 4 accurate. In ball distribution, he's also among the best, second only to Heisen in passing attempts, 519 versus 539, accurate passes, 461 versus 473, progressive passes, 89 versus 101, and final third deliveries, 79 versus 116. Defensively, he's sharp and well-timed. He leads the team in both interceptions and defensive duels won, 47 each. It's a skill set that fits perfectly into Alonso's system. High possession tempo, quick flank progression, and instant defensive recovery. When you put the full picture together, it's clear why the skepticism around this deal has almost vanished. Young age, immediate adaptation, two-way impact, and numbers that speak for themselves. It's an investment that's already paying off on the pitch, but not without bad news. Dani Carvajal is injured again, a calf muscle problem in his right leg. The club confirmed the diagnosis, but as usual did not provide a timeline. Spanish media report a 4-week absence. Dani had played 7 of 8 matches in all competitions, but in the derby against Atletico he left the field early, around the hour mark, with the score that would end up 2-5. It's especially frustrating for the captain. He had just returned this summer after 9 months out with a cruciate ligament injury featured in the Club World Cup semi-final, and now faces another setback. He's highly likely to miss the visit from Barcelona on October 26th. Injury context also highlights defensive depth issues. The right flank is under double pressure. Trent Alexander-Arnold is out, and Antonio Rudiger is unavailable in central defense, that limits Alonso's options in the most sensitive area, picking a defensive four for a congested schedule. This increases the importance of versatile players, those capable of covering multiple positions without losing quality. And that brings us back to Carreras. His stability and work rate on the flank are not just an asset, but a necessity. So, on one side of the scales, Mbappe, the week's star who has put Madrid back on track and ready for Juventus. On the other, Carreras, a strategic success story, a once controversial signing that has turned out perfectly on the pitch. And beside them, a worrying defensive situation. Carvajal's absence, plus injuries to Alexander-Arnold and Rudiger, leave the coaching staff with tough lineup choices in the coming weeks. All of this paints a realistic picture of a big team in a big autumn, where individual brilliance secures results, smart recruitment stabilizes the system, and injuries test the squad's depth. The key is to navigate this stretch without wild swings, take the must-win points in La Liga, manage leader workloads wisely, and bring the defense back to full strength before crucial fixtures. What do you think of Madrid's current light and shadow balance? Has Carreras convinced you he's a long-term signing? And how critical is Carvajal's absence ahead of the big matches? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Next up is Juventus in the Champions League, where we'll break down how Real Madrid will rebuild its defense and keep Mbappe's dazzling run going. Now, to what's happening beyond the scoreboard. How the team is living through the week after the derby, and what's really going on around the leaders. Before the match against Villarreal, Xabi Alonso appeared before the press calm and composed. It's the first La Liga game after the painful 2-5 defeat to an Atletico. And the coach's message was simple: stay balanced. You shouldn't fly into euphoria after wins or fall into despair after losses. That happens in any club. We remember, but we don't dwell on it, he summed up. Alonso didn't ask anything from the fans. It's us who have to give. We'll try to win by playing proactively, as planned. Meanwhile, there's been noise in the media around Federico Valverde. The story flared up after the Champions League match. The Uruguayan stayed on the bench against Kairat, 5-0, and online rumors claimed he refused to play as a right-back. Valverde publicly denied it. I'm ready to play anywhere, always. I've never refused in my entire career. Alonso backed him up. No one has ever told me they didn't want to play in a certain position. Everyone wants to play. As of now, Fade is in the squad and ready for the match. From the coaching standpoint, this was a matter of rotation, not principles. Let's unpack the Kairat episode. The media picked up footage of Valverde calmly walking along the sideline during warm-ups. No rush. Hands behind his back. He never entered the pitch and missed the starting lineup for the first time in a long while. Alonso insists the decision was made in advance. Fade himself was firm. People can say whatever they want about me, but not that I refuse to play. I've played through injuries and fractures. Whether this was Alonso tightening discipline or simply rotation amid a packed schedule will stay inside the dressing room. The external message is clear. There is no conflict of the I won't play kind. Meanwhile, in England, transfer talk has already begun. Tottenham is reportedly monitoring Valverde with the financial capacity to make a big move, and for the market, he's the kind of player who strengthens any top club. But from Madrid's point of view, he's a cornerstone, not a tradable asset. Players like him are protected. Losing Valverde now would be a strategic mistake. His versatility, work rate, and discipline make him indispensable regardless of the system or opponent. Another storyline. Vinícius. After the match against Kairat, the Brazilian was frustrated by being substituted. He wanted to finish the game but performed below his usual standard. His flank was almost completely locked down, and the numbers reflected that. Low passing accuracy, few duels won, so Alonso's substitution was justified. The coach has long emphasized, there are no untouchables. minutes must be earned. What adds intrigue is the background of Xabi contract talks. Vinícius previously wanted terms comparable to Mbappe's, while the club offered a raise, but not on that scale. If frustration builds up, the topic of his future will inevitably return. It's something that will have to be resolved by season's end. And yes, the question of Alonso's authority has also surfaced. The coach answered calmly, "We spend a lot of time together. Closeness is what unites us, in preparation and in celebrating victories." There have been previous stories about dissatisfaction over playing time from Vinícius or Rodrigo. But that's the flip side of deep rotation. The message coming out is clear. We're together, not every man for himself. The conclusion is clear. The team has lived through a turbulent week, a painful derby loss, a resounding Champions League win, and talk about roles and minutes. The coaching staff's stance is calm and disciplined. No drama, just clear-headed decisions. Valverde is fit and ready. Vinícius is vital but must maintain his level, and the coach is focused on balance and responsibility, without slogans. How do you see it? Where's the line between firm rotation and tightening the leash on leaders? And how well is Alonso steering the team through this emotional roller coaster? Share your thoughts in the comments, support the episode, and stay with us. Ahead lies football, not headlines. Madrid needs a win at the Bernabeu, and quiet, proper work on their mistakes.